Welcome on in, Heat Nation. Tobin here with you. Miami Heat victorious tonight, 122-113 over the Atlanta Hawks, courtesy of a fourth quarter takeover by the Dunkyard Dog himself, Duncan Mother Bleepin Robinson. That's his full name on the birth certificate, I believe. And he was just absolutely tremendous tonight. 27 points on the night, but 21 of them coming in the final frame for Duncan. He was an absolute menace that the Hawks could not handle tonight. Like, look, Trae Young, he goes out there and he tries to do it with a little bit of razzle-dazzle. He pulls up from the logo. He pulls up from the fireball tip. Then he tries to go further into the flame just to test what his limits are. And that's cool. That's nice and all that. But, you know, you do all that with a, night where you play 40 minutes and, you need all these shots to get it done. Duncan Robinson's out here. He's doing this, dude. Trae Young goes out there. He scores 30 tonight, 13, 6 straight games where he's had at least 30 and 10 assists, which is tremendous. Don't get me wrong. But, I mean, if you're going to talk about the efficiency of it, really, Duncan Robinson tonight, not the star of his team, although in title, really. I mean, if in production, he was. And he goes and gives the Heat 27 tonight, 8 of 11 from downtown, 4 of 7 from 3, 7 of 7 from the line, and was just a cool team best plus 14 tonight. He was everything. He was tremendous. He just continues to have this incredible year. And Bam had brought up the point, should he be most improved player of the year? And I don't know. I don't know if that is going to get off the ground or not. But right now, you think about a guy, we've talked about the journey going basically from out of the rotation, then certainly got more responsibility in the playoffs. But this year has just come back, and anytime Jimmy, Tyler's out, doesn't matter. You have Duncan Robinson to lean on, and that's just the facts of it. They can count on him, and they can count on his confidence, his playmaking, his shot making, his shot creating. It just seems like he's just filling in the voids wherever needed for the Miami Heat. And it was just, we know that this has been the big problem for the team this year, has been the fourth quarter. And you know that you're going to have Trae Young going nutty, trying to will his team home. And he did try to do that with some crazy, crazy shot making tonight. He had 4 threes from in the fourth quarter today. Trae was pulling up from all over the place, trying to will his team, trying to bring him home, and just it wasn't enough because Duncan just always seemed to have an answer for it. And Miami comes into the fourth quarter, they're up 2, and Trae Young, like right off the bat, is just pulling up from all over the place. And Bam honestly was really struggling for Miami. I think that was the other part of this equation. Bam had a tough night tonight. He turned the ball over like crazy. He had a couple of travels. He had 5. Did he finish with 5 turnovers out of all of it tonight? 6 turnovers for Bam tonight, who, filled it in other areas, but, he's been a very reliable scorer tonight. 5 of 14. Bam was having a lot of trouble with his touch around the rim. Obviously, going against Clint Capella is always a pain in the ass, and you have to deal with the energy of Clint, and he's obviously got to recover on Trae for some things as well. So, Bam's got a lot to put into this game. But offensively, just the points and the production right there in that final column for him, it wasn't probably what you needed on a night with no Jimmy Butler, and certainly not in the fourth quarter. And so after he gets that turnover, this is really where the Duncan Robinson takeover begins, because Trae Young takes it off of this Bam turnover and he tries to shoot it from nearly damn half court. I mean, I think his strategy tonight, Trae Young, who I want to get into, he's a fascinating player, but it felt like his strategy was, what are the wackiest shots that I could try and pull off tonight that's going to drive Spo nuts, because you can't responsibly really guard these plays. You're going to give them to me, but maybe I'll just make them. And the response to that was just, you know what? Duncan Robinson is just going to settle in, and he's going to play within the offense, and he's just going to always be in the right spot, and he'll be open in the corner for a 3 for Jaime Jaquez. He's going to find him. He is going to make a slight movement, be open for another 3. Then he's going to give you that damn runner off the 1 foot and keep the Heat rolling for it. And then he'll roll on down, cut, serve a beautiful shot off the window, and get the foul. I mean, it was just so beautiful to see from this Miami Heat team. It really, really was. And then the other star of this game tonight really was Tyler Hero. Continues just his incredible season. You know, I want to say his incredible run, but it's really just been his entire year. He's been playing so great, so under control, making the right shots, and then even the difficult shots that are at the end of the shot clock, it hasn't phased him. He had a couple tonight that were just so impressive. He hits 3 from downtown in the fourth quarter, which were where all of his makes came from. And that's what they needed. You know, they needed that because you know you're going to be in a situation where the Hawks are going to be shooting aggressive. They're going to be coming willy-nilly from 3. And this is a game where if you're the Heat, you just want to stay kind of close in that margin, which is what they did. You know, Atlanta, they hit 19 from downtown, Heat at 17. But the big discrepancy, of course, for the Heat, got to the free throw line a lot more because they were attacking. So for Tyler, he had just 2 huge makes in this fourth quarter for Miami, where he's got one that he hits right over Sadiq Bey. Beautiful crossover, beautiful move put on by Tyler. Just that patented sweet stuff that we're used to seeing him bring, but just makes it look so effortless, so easy. And it put the Heat up 8 at the time. Hawks call a timeout. And then after that, you kind of get into a fun back and forth. Trae Young's making his little bit of a move there for the Atlanta Hawks to try and battle back with Miami. He's hitting that damn annoying floater that he's able to hit. You know, when Trae Young does it, it's annoying. When Tyler here does it, that's all right. I don't make the rules. That's just what it is, dude. I gotta say, before I get into the end of this little run here where Miami kind of takes over this puppy, this Trae Young with the flopping and the acting. He had 2 tonight that were just he had more, but there were 2 that were egregious. Okay. He has this one that was in the second quarter, early in the second quarter, and like Bam is out on defending him, and like his face, like Bam barely touches his face, like doesn't smack him, doesn't hit him. He basically would treat him like a baby, like coochie coochie coo, like little finger. He was fine, but Trae Young, like it was like he was shy. He's like, oh, like barely touches the refs bought it, gave Bam a foul. It was unbelievably annoying. And then Tyler has him in the corner, and he does like he's swinging the ball through, no contact whatsoever, just completely flails and falls out of bounds. Refs buy it, give him another call. It is unbelievable. Like it's sometimes I can't believe what I'm saying. It's sometimes it's like James Harden flopping, but on steroids. It really is, because I think the hair flops all over the place. He's so tiny, and it really is just a pain in the ass to deal with. He is just like the supreme wild card to play, because he'll just shoot literally the basketball from anywhere, but also because he's so tiny, he's always throwing his body all over the place. You know, a little touchy touch, the refs are going to call it. He knows how to flop and embellish and all that stuff. It's really irritating to see your team play against this guy. So you got to be dangerous. But thankfully, Tyler had a turnover. Trae Young turned that into a fast break 3 ball, brought the game to within 4, timeout Heat. Duncan Robinson comes out of that, gets to the free throw line, puts the Heat up 6. Then you get a huge rebound from Bam. Outlet pass down to Jaime Jaquez Jr., and he misses it, but Duncan Robinson right there for the follow-up. I mean, just intangibles to the fullest. He just he had nose for the rock. Then you probably had play of the game in this one, where Tyler Hero, end of the shot clock, winding down, Duncan goes to Tyler, deep 3 ball, Clint Capella there defending him. Tyler Hero, big old onions, nails it, and the Miami Heat go up by 9 with that shot, and that was pretty much all she wrote. That was basically the dagger for the game. Duncan Robinson would go to the line to make his stat line look even more impressive. But he really was the catalyst to all this. Tyler Hero even saying afterwards to Kelly Sacco in the winner's circle that his twin, Duncan Robinson, he was the real reason that it opened everything up for Miami. So just a tremendous performance by him. Miami is now 5 over 500 for the first time since the Cleveland win where they blew out the Cleveland Cavaliers, got the Miami Heat to 10-5 on the season. And you'll remember after that game, that was the Heat were playing really well. Then after that, they had the collapse against the New York Knicks, got into a little bit of a rutsky, and they've kind of been battling back and forth. But, for not having a lot of their guys for the better part now of the whole year, but let's just say, these last couple of weeks, getting Bam and Tyler back this week, but losing Jimmy, they've just shown a great resilience. And Tyler back like he never left. Bam Adebayo certainly continuing his effortless jump shots, his beautiful shooting. His defense is still top notch. His rebounding is great, but you can't say enough about what Duncan has done done for this team. Whenever a top guy has been out, he has been there to lift up and provide whatever the team needs. A lot of it has been an offensive punch, but whether it's rebounding, whether it's playmaking, whether it's leadership on the floor, it's all been there for him. So he's really, really just been nothing short of awesome. And most improved player, absolutely. It's been just a great thing to see from him. Now Miami takes this into Monday night, a Christmas matchup against the Philadelphia 76ers, which should be a really, really fun time because we know that there's always bad blood there. There's always going to be the Jimmy tie. Hopefully he'll be ready to go. I'd imagine he's going to play in this game. I can't imagine he is going to go out there and miss this one. You know that he loves playing that team. He loves rubbing it in Joel Embiid's face. And, the Sixers are in a good spot right now. They're 20-8 on the season, and they win tonight, 121-111. Joel Embiid is obviously playing out of his mind. So you love these. This is just like the Minnesota game. You love these measuring sticks at this point of the year. Christmas is always a fun check-in time for the NBA, and Miami having their record at the best spot that it's been at, matching the best spot that it's been at this season. This should be a really, really fun test for them coming up on Monday night. You hope you have the full deck ready, and they can jingle all the way, man. So great job by Duncan Robinson tonight. He was absolutely awesome. Trae Young, completely acting all over the place, drove me absolutely insane. I'd say the only other things of note for today, you had Kyle Lowry got banged up at one point. He did not play very much in this game tonight. Let's see, what was the final line on Kyle? He played 21 minutes, didn't take a lot of shots, but you could tell that tweak really, really bothered him. So that was definitely something to see. And he didn't get a ton of bench production tonight outside of Duncan Robinson. It was crazy because not a great shooting night for Kevin Love. Haywood Highsmith kind of had a rough one out there. Jay Rich wasn't finding it. A lot of these guys were involved. Haywood, Jay Rich, they're all involved in having a guard Trae Young, so they're running around like nuts. So that's not their main responsibility, but the punch definitely came from Duncan Robinson. And Jaime Jaquez, I guess this kind of speaks to the season that Jaime is having, because Jaime today, 19 points in the starting lineup, kind of went under the radar. It's like, wow. He's now, don't get me wrong, the footwork this kid has just never gets old. Like, he had this one just beautiful spin around Clint Mother Bleepin Capella, who is a house, he's not the biggest defensive presence in the world, but he ain't small. And he just had some just beautiful, beautiful stuff. The aggressiveness that he shows, the ability to get to the line tonight. You just love what Jaime can provide in that regard. So just the idea that he goes out there and just kind of does a Jimmy night, right? Like, Jimmy Butler's not there, but who's there to give you 19 points, get to the line a handful of times tonight, 7 rebounds, just kind of filling in the blanks all over the place. But seeing some of the moves that he could put offensively, it really is. It's a sight to behold. So Nice win for the Miami Heat tonight, 122-113. Take a hike, Atlanta Hawks.